What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Big Play Ray here. And you know, for the most part, my videos are about working out, fitness, wellness, product reviews, and things of that sort. But I've been getting a lot of emails from individuals wanting tips on things they should do to become a firefighter. And I've been responding to them individually, but I'd like to go ahead and do a coverall video. And it may be a little long, but I'm definitely going to cover as much as I can, because I don't plan on making a part 2 on this particular topic. So hopefully I can get everything out to you right now. For the people that's already in the application process somewhere, be honest, be truthful. You're trying to become a member of a brotherhood that's like none other. Okay, it's like none other, and you actually won't understand that until you actually become a part of it. As a firefighter, you're expected to do what's right, you know, so let's start off with the application process. Just being honest and putting everything on the table. I got a few notes here. I wrote down all the questions that you all posted to the poll that I put on Facebook, and I'm going to try and get to all of that. The majority of the fire departments, when it comes to the application process, is kind of a long process. So just because you get your first call from them, don't go ahead and quit your day job, you know, the next day. It's a long process. You'll get a number of calls as you go along the actual application process. My application process was about just a little over 6 months, from the day that I actually turned in the application to the day that I was actually hired, or my first day at work in rookie school. That was about a little over 6 months. So it's a long process. And in that process, you know, there was not just one interview, there was a number of interviews that was done, a number of tests that were taken, polygraph tests, math tests, writing tests, and of course the physical test. That's what most people are familiar with, the physical test, but there's a number of reading, math, and your logical type tests or sanity type tests that you have to take in conjunction with the actual physical test. As far as the written test that you have to take during the hiring process, there's not a lot of prep. There's not something you could actually do right now. I mean, if you want to brush up on your general math skills, you know, there's lots of things you can search on Google to find, you know, refreshers in math, but there is really not a lot you can do to prepare for the written part of the initial firefighter exam. That's kind of what you already know, what you're already capable of, you know. Now, as far as the physical test, you know, you've heard of the CPAT test and you've heard of the Firefighter Combat Challenge test. Those are two of the biggest tests when it comes to actually assessing an individual's ability to become a firefighter. The county that I work for, we actually use the Combat Challenge, and it seems like it's a walk in the park if you look at it, but it could be the longest few minutes of your life. It takes a minute to recover, actually. You know, it only took me the best time I've had on the Combat Challenge was 1 minute 57 seconds, but the recovery time, you could be recovering up to 2 days. You know, your legs feel like jello. I have some links in the description, a link to a video of someone completing the Combat Challenge, and there's also a link in the description of the actual steps of the CPAT test. So check out the 2 links that I have in the description if you want to know what those 2 tests are like. And there may be a few other tests out there, but like I said, these are the 2 big tests when it comes to becoming a firefighter. What type of exercises can you do to aid in you becoming a firefighter, or what might help you pass the test? Endurance is a very, very pivotal part of a firefighter's fitness. Now, if your cardiovascular health isn't where it needs to be, I would definitely work on that. I would definitely do some jogging, and if you can, don't do the jogging on the treadmill. Try and do it actually on the road. It's a lot different on the actual road than it is on the treadmill, and I'm sure if you ever ran before, you definitely know what the difference is. As far as other exercises, pull-ups, push-ups, and sit-ups. Those exercises right there, if you stay on top of those, you'll do well. As far as the other tests, it's really not, you know, the rookie school is hard, but those exercises will help you, but the other part of training will actually come from when you're actually in rookie school. There's not a lot of, that right there will help your body to be ready, but everything else in rookie school is more so mental, okay? Who's ever in charge of the boot camp or rookie school, they're gonna be working at making an environment that's hostile and actually seeing how you work under pressure. You'll have the strength, you know, you're doing push-ups, pull-ups, and sit-ups and things like that. You'll have the strength, but will your mind let you use your body in a way that's actually going to work out good for the citizens, for your own personal safety, and for the safety of your crew? You know, is your mind actually going to let you deal with a hostile environment? So, like I said, you can do those push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups, sit-ups, and push-ups, but the rest of the training will actually come when you actually make it to rookie school and they put you in all those different situations and stuff. My actual boot camp or rookie school or recruit class lasted 14 weeks, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And, you know, we started the day off with PT. You know, a light day of PT. A light day of PT was about a 1.5 mile run, several sets of push-ups, several sets of sit-ups, and a few other calisthenic type workouts, and about 30 flights of stairs. That was an easy workout. And there were other creative workouts too, circuit training type workouts. But an easy day, like I said, was like a 1.5 miles, 30 flights of stairs, and several sets of push-ups, sit-ups, and pull-ups. That was a light day. Are there any I got the question, are there any certifications that will help you get on with the fire department? They do consider letters of recommendation if you already know someone in the fire department, but that doesn't guarantee you a ticket into the actual academy. Myself, I knew no one. I knew nobody that was in the fire department. As I just had this thought that I wanted to give it a shot, and I put the application in, and I made it. So I had no prior experience. I wasn't a volunteer firefighter or anything like that. Had no prior experience at all. In fact, I actually went to school for network security. I used to be the assistant IT director of a company, and that's really what my background is computer science, stuff like that. So absolutely had no background, put my application in, and made it all the way throughout the hiring process. So are there any certifications that will help you? There are different things you could do. Like if you're already EMT, that's definitely a plus. You know, if you already have your firefighter 1, firefighter 2, that's definitely a plus. Many counties, even if you have your firefighter 1 or firefighter 2 certification, they're still gonna want you to go through their rookie school so you can see what their how their department actually functions. Those additional certifications, they definitely help, but it's not gonna make or break you. But it does help, you know, with the application process. There were several people in my class that were already EMT and things like that, but like I said, I didn't have any, and there were several others that didn't have any background in firefighting, and we still made it on. So there's some things that will help, but it's not going to make or break. Which answers the second question I had was, should I go ahead and pay for EMT school now if it's going to give me a better chance to being a firefighter? If you're applying for a large county or a large city, a lot of times the rookie school or recruit school is going to include not only firefighter training, but it's also going to include the emergency medical technician training. So you will have your EMT and you'll actually be already salaried or already getting your hourly wages while you're learning EMT and learning firefighter 1 or firefighter 2. So in my situation, I'm glad that I did not pay for my EMT somewhere else to try and get on with the fire department, because they paid for me I was getting paid while I was in EMT school as a firefighter. So that was a plus in my situation. And it kind of depends on the department that you're applying for. Some departments don't even have a rookie school. They're looking for someone that already has their firefighter 1 or firefighter 2 certification. So you may have to already have those certifications to get on with some counties. And again, that's probably like a lot of your smaller counties, because of the resources are just not there to actually hold an entire rookie school. So just depends. You should get to know the county that you're actually applying for and what's actually required of you to see what you should do to improve your chances of actually getting on. A little bit more about what training with the boot camp was like for me. In all honesty, it was kind of just as hard for me as it was for the next guy. When it came to, you know, strength things and stuff, of course, I had a little upper hand on that. But when I came into rookie school, I was the biggest I have ever been in my entire bodybuilding career. In fact, it wasn't too long before I started with the fire department that I made that 3-year transformation video. And you all saw how big I was, or the amount of mass that I had put on in that 3-year transformation video. If not, you can check that video out. But that was the largest I had ever been inside the class. So I wasn't big on cardio. I kind of took that for granted that, you know, since I work out that I would be okay. But I wasn't at the bottom of the pack and I wasn't at the top of the pack. I was right there in the middle. You know, a lot of people just like, I was the biggest guy in my class as far as when it comes to the muscular build. I was the biggest person in my class, but when it came to like the push-ups, you know, we had to see how many push-ups we can do in 2 minutes. And there was a few people that, you know, got close to 100 plus, and myself, I think I got like 79 or 80, and it was just like, you know, why didn't you get 100? You know, my mode of training when it comes to bodybuilding it doesn't have anything to do with endurance and reps. It's pushing a heavy weight. So, I mean, I'm benching 315 at this time. When I was in rookie school, I was able to bench 315, but you asked me to rep out 135, and I'm gonna look at you kind of crazy. That's actually not my forte. That's not how I actually train. So it was just as hard for me as it was for the next guy. What is it like being a firefighter? Well, let me tell you one thing about the actual department I work for. There's not many departments that still do it, but my department does, and that's why I actually like it a lot. It's always something different. My department actually does transport for the county. So in my fire department, we have fire trucks. I may be assigned to a fire truck one day. And we also have ambulances that respond out of our station. So I may be assigned to the ambulance. And most of the time I am, since I'm EMT. I spend more shifts on the ambulance than I do actually on the fire truck. So, you know, those calls of cardiac arrest, you know, someone just fell out, and someone going into a diabetic coma, you name it, any type of call like that an ambulance is going to respond to, I'm actually the one on the ambulance, me and a paramedic. So I get to see a whole lot, you know what I mean? And like I said, that's just a few shifts, and then I'm actually on the fire truck some shifts, and I'm getting to do all the fire aspects that comes with being a firefighter. So I get to see a lot in my actual department. You know, a lot of people say that you know, at the fire department, they don't do anything, you know, just sit around all day. That's not the case, okay? The majority of the fire departments are not the way Hollywood portrays the fire department, okay? There's a lot of work going on at the fire department. Granted, there are some spells or downtime at the station, but let me tell you, when you are working, you are working. If you're coming here because you think it's easy, it's a gravy job, then, well, like I said, if you're like far out somewhere in a very rural area, then that department may have a lot of downtime. But I'm in the inner city, and there is not a lot of downtime. I'm working on my 3rd year at the fire department right now, and now that I've been on the line and experienced pretty much being a firefighter, if for some reason in the future I had to change careers or do something different, I will never ever forget the things that I have experienced at the fire department. The fire department has contributed a lot to my personal growth and development when it comes to thinking skills and problem solving skills, and being able to prioritize the actions needed to do in a particular situation. Not necessarily just an emergency, but just in general life, period. You know, the problem solving skills I've been able to develop from working at the fire department is kind of priceless. You know, it is priceless. If you want to become a firefighter, I would tell you to apply for several different departments. Don't apply just for one. I applied for 5 different departments, or 6. I applied for about five or 6 departments, and only 2 of them actually called me back. So, you know, it was a game of large numbers. I'm really glad where I'm at now that they called me back first, because it's been an awesome experience. There are many different schedules when it comes to being a firefighter. A very, very popular schedule in the United States is the 24 on, 48 off. So you go to work one day, and then you're off for 2 days. Go to work again for 24 hours, and then you're off 48. So say, for instance, you have to work on a Thursday. You began work at 7 o'clock that morning. You wouldn't get off until Friday morning at 7 o'clock, and you would have Friday, Saturday off. You'll go back in Sunday morning at 7, get off Monday morning at 7, and be off Monday, Tuesday, go back into work on Wednesday. So that's the typical schedule. Like I said, just get to know the department that you're actually applying for, and to figure out which schedule is actually available. It's nothing for someone to ask, do you think I could be a firefighter? Do not let someone else determine your future, okay? If you want to be a firefighter, put an application in, go through the process, and see if you have what it takes. When I tell people now I'm a firefighter, if it's their first time meeting me, then it's just like, okay, cool, great. But no one, like I said, my background was in computers. I was a little geek monster in high school. Most of my friends and family, when I told them I was, applying for the fire department, it was their mouth dropped. Like, what do you mean? Like, I call you when my computer's broke. So what are you talking about being a firefighter? So no one actually told me to be a firefighter. I drove myself to that decision. The only person that actually supported me was my wife, which I really, really appreciate. Another question I got was, how do I avoid letting the job hinder muscle recovery and things like that, or how does it affect my bodybuilding and fitness? How do I keep from that? Main thing with me is eating. I try and eat as much as I can when I can. Everybody knows me that as soon as I check the truck off, the next thing I do is put my snacks on the truck, because you just never know. A call might take 10 minutes, a call might take 6 hours. You just never know how long you're going to be out of the house. Because, my metabolism is fast, so I have to actually work at keeping my carbs up. As far as my sleep, that's a booger. I do what I can as far as the sleep. Some nights I can sleep all night, might not get a call, and then other nights I'll roll out my bed stuff and never ever touch it. You just never know, man. You just never know what the shift is going to bring, sometimes you kind of try and predict it, like over the weekends it's going to be busy, everybody's going to be up at night, so it's going to be a long night. And sometimes the weekend is the night that you sleep all night, and a Wednesday is the day that you're up all night. You just really never know. Just really never know. And I just do what I can. I got to run the calls. I'm not going to, leave anybody hanging. We're going to do my job. And I try and make up for it when I get home. Just crashing when I get home. If you all are having trouble sleeping, not even just being a firefighter, if you're just having trouble sleeping, don't forget the video that I did with Omar, Chef Buff. I'll put a link to that video in the description. I talked about the different supplements that are out there to help you with your sleep. So if you want some help there, check out that video. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. If you have more questions, you got the comments below. And if someone knows the answers, feel free to answer some of those comments, but only if you really know the answer. I hate when people leave comments answering other people's questions and they have the wrong information. So just only if you absolutely know the answer to a question, feel free to leave a comment below to some of the questions that may be there. Visit a fire station in your hometown or an area in which you're trying to apply for. Visit one of the stations. During the day, people visit our station all the time. It's a good way to get a better feel of the department if you've never been in one. They'll let you check out the truck, look at some of the cool equipment, visit the station. Feel free to talk to the people that are at that station, for more information or what you need to do to apply for their particular department. I think that's going to be one of the best ways to get your questions answered, is to actually visit a station that you actually want to work for and ask a few questions. If you're trying to see what fire department is hiring in another state, that you're not living in or not there, go online. Just search for the different counties online and see what the application process is like, or when their next date of hire, the next day that they're going to open up the hiring process. Just check online. Okay, wrapping this video up, all done now. I got some other videos already recorded before this one, and I'm going to work on getting those out. Please check them out. So subscribe to my YouTube page here for some, so you can be first in line to see those newest videos I plan on rolling out. I have Facebook links and Twitter links in the description. Please join my pages there as well. And once you make it onto the fire department, maybe I will see you on the big one.